That night, reporter Alan noticed that when he read the words creepy old guy, even the usually cold Lucy quietly clenched her fists. He thought maybe Lucy didn't hate her younger brother as much as she acted like she did. But a moment later he figured maybe he'd just imagined it. He turned the page and kept reading. Dear Diary, I moved out. Because yesterday my sister saw me coughing up blood. She barely has any savings, but she still wanted to take me to the doctor. Before that I never told her I was sick. I just said I moved out because we had a fight. But I couldn't fool her. Maybe I really am bad luck. I don't want to drag my sister down, and I definitely don't want to burden this loyal big sister I haven't even known that long. She once told me she was saving up to open her own auto shop someday and finally have a home of her own. I'm not going to let you die this young. When she said that, her eyes were full of stubborn determination. I smiled and nodded, but deep down all I could think was goodbye. Early the next morning, I quietly left with the little luggage I had. Squatting here writing in my diary made my feet go numb. Let me sit for a second and catch my breath. Lately I've been getting worse. I've started coughing up blood and I couldn't hold it back again just now. People saw me like that and got freaked out. They stayed far away and kept pointing at me. I curled up into a ball and didn't look up for a long time. Then I noticed blood had dripped onto my diary. I tried to wipe it off, but the stain just kept spreading. I'm sorry, diary. I got you dirty too. I didn't mean to. It just hurt so much I can't control it. While I was crouched on the ground trying to recover, an older woman in worn-out clothes walked up to me and shoved some money into my hand. No matter how much I refused, she dropped the money and ran. I quietly followed her and saw that she was with her disabled husband, and he was holding a very young child in his arms. She tucked back her hair, kissed the baby on the cheek, and went right back to selling fruit. I waited there for a long time, until it got dark. Half my body had gone stiff from the cold, and she still had more than half her fruit left. She let out a sigh, her husband comforted her, and the two of them started packing up, putting the baby in a basket nearby. I pulled my hat down and walked over fast. While she wasn't looking, I slipped the money back into the baby's clothes. Nice story. You almost got me. He's backed by a sugar mommy. Now that he's broke, he's writing sob stories to make money. Alan, there's no need to keep reading. I'm ridiculous for even sitting here wasting this much time. If he's pretending to be dead because he's too scared to face me, then I'll treat him like he really is dead. I don't care anyway. With that, Lucy stood up, turned away without a trace of hesitation, and the interview ended on the spot. But that episode blew up online. People dug up reports from 5 years earlier showing that after Lucy cut ties with her brother, she had been going to a mental health clinic. They guessed that after losing her parents and being betrayed by her brother, she had fallen into severe depression. And later, after her company started doing better, she adopted another younger brother, and Jack's diary sparked even more heated debate online. Some people blasted Jack for pretending to be dead just to get attention. Back then, they said, he left his own sister for money and made Lucy face the fallout of bankruptcy alone, dealing her a massive emotional blow. Now that his sister had made it, he was playing the victim for sympathy. They said even this kind of diary could be faked. But Lucy already had a new younger brother. Rumor had it that for Tom's 18th birthday, she rented out an entire amusement park and even gave him a limited edition sports car. Saying she spoiled him rotten wouldn't be an exaggeration. Others felt there might really be more to the story. They said the diary felt too real and too sincere, and they couldn't believe someone who wrote like that was just some gold digger. No matter what side people were on, everyone was eager to know what Jack had written next. Chasing the buzz, the TV station reached out to Lucy again and asked whether she would allow them to release her brother's diary from before his death. Nobody knew whether she didn't believe it or truly didn't care, but Lucy's assistant said, "That diary has already been handed over to your station. Whether you publish it or destroy it, Lucy has no opinion," she added. Lucy has made it clear she only has one younger brother, and his name is Tom. A lot of viewers loved hearing that. Let's see if Jack keeps up the act now. She clearly doesn't care. Once they got permission, the station soon aired a live stream called Jack's Diary Before Death. On screen, reporter Alan looked solemn. Just like all of you, I haven't read this diary ahead of time. Now that we've gotten Lucy's permission, I'm sharing it with everyone watching today, so please, go easy in the comments. Within seconds, hundreds of thousands of people flooded into the live stream. In less than a minute, it passed 1 million viewers. Everyone was waiting for Alan to open that diary. Meanwhile, over at Lucy's place, her assistant Anna looked at her with a complicated expression and hesitated for a long time. "Lucy, the show's about to start." Lucy didn't even look up. "I told you, I don't want to hear anything about him again." Alan took a deep breath and opened the diary. "Dear diary, today I found a little dog. I didn't want to get involved, but it kept dragging its injured leg behind me, whimpering. I knew I was in no shape to take care of it, so I forced myself to keep walking. But after 2 more steps, I turned back and picked it up. The second I did, the little yellow dog lit up and started licking my palm nonstop. I sighed. It must have figured out I'm a soft touch. I named it Changsheng, which means long life. I hope it lives a long, lucky life, unlike me. I took it to a pet hospital and just the exam fee cleaned out my wallet. The surgery would cost another $2,000. If it didn't get the operation, it would die. I looked at Changsheng in my arms and carefully begged the vet, asking if I could bring it back in a few days for surgery. The vet said, "It can't wait, tomorrow at the latest." I left the pet hospital holding Changsheng and sat down at a street corner, completely lost. I started talking to it. "You're so dumb. There are so many rich people out there, and you just had to pick someone like me, someone who's basically dying. And on top of that, I'm broke. Where am I supposed to come up with 2 grand for you? The puppy couldn't understand a word I said. It just kept wagging its tail happily, celebrating that it finally had a home. Looking at it made my eyes well up again. So I had no choice but to walk over to the ATM and hesitate over taking out $2,000. Just this one last time, sis. This is the last time I'll spend your money. But I never expected my sister to cancel my card. My heart dropped. Then again, I'd already been the one to say I wanted to cut ties with her. She had no reason to keep giving me money. I never planned on contacting her again, but I had no choice. For Changsheng, I took her number out of my blocked list and called her. The phone rang for a long time. Just when I thought she wasn't going to answer, she finally picked up. She let out a cold laugh. So, you regret it now? You blocked me, and now you're the one calling me first. Didn't you say you wanted to cut ties with me? Or are you just out of money? The moment she started talking, every word I wanted to say got stuck in my throat. I wanted so badly to hang up right then, but Changsheng in my arms reminded me I needed $2,000 for him. After a brief silence, my sister pressed me. You haven't contacted me in all this time. You don't care whether your sister's eating well, sleeping well, or whether she's missed you. All you want is money, right? I bit down hard on my lip. A salty taste rose in my throat and I forced it back down. I answered like a machine. Yeah. My sister sounded like she was choking back tears. Fine. You want money, is that it? I'll give you everything. Happy now? I never should have kept hoping for anything from you. Jack, you really have no heart. From today on, we're done. You're not my brother anymore. She hung up. I couldn't hold it in anymore. I crouched down with Changsheng in my arms and threw up. There was so much blood, but against the dark ground you could barely even tell. Changsheng seemed terrified. It kept whimpering and licking my face. I patted it gently to calm it down. The physical pain was bad, but I was already numb to that. What hurt more was my heart. When I looked at my phone again, I saw that my sister had sent me $20,000. When I tried to send back the extra money, I realized she'd already blocked me. I held Changsheng and cried for a long time. I knew my sister had really given up on me. I used to hope she would forget me and cut ties with me, but now that she'd really done it, I felt so crushed I could barely breathe. Changsheng, I don't have a home anymore. The comments were flying by. This is brutal. Even if he faked being dead and made this whole thing up, the story is still heartbreaking. I'm literally tearing up. Hurry up and keep going. What happened to Changsheng? The dog couldn't talk. It just celebrated finally having a home. Even at that point, there were still some people accusing Jack of acting, fishing for sympathy, and playing the victim. But compared to before, those voices were basically nothing. It seemed like now everyone cared more about whether Changsheng was okay. Urged on by the audience, Alan steadied himself and turned the page. Dear Diary, long time no see. I've got good news. Changsheng had the surgery, and now he's healthy, but he's also ridiculously clingy. No matter where I go, he follows me. Even when I sleep, he has to curl up by my feet. I've also got bad news. My illness is getting worse. I don't know how much longer I can hang on. Maybe less than a month. Now, whenever I go to a pharmacy to buy a bunch of painkillers, they all look at me like I'm some kind of junkie. Luckily, I still have my diagnosis papers. If I beg long enough, they usually cave and sell them to me. But the painkillers work less and less now. Just to fall asleep, I have to take more and more. Yesterday, I was handing out flyers when I suddenly passed out on the side of the road. Changsheng got scared out of its mind. It kept licking my face and barking at me until it finally got the attention of a kind stranger, who sent me to the hospital and helped cover the fee. I did the math afterward and realized not only did I lose the pay from that job, I actually ended up losing a lot of money. The doctor said, "You need to be hospitalized right away and your family needs to be notified. If this keeps up, then very soon you might..." He didn't finish the sentence, but I knew exactly what he meant. I brushed him off with a few words and hurried out of the hospital. No way I was staying there. Hospitals cost way too much. At the hospital entrance, I found Changsheng. The second it saw me, it came running. But that night, I was still in so much pain I kept tossing and turning. Changsheng sensed it. It was panicking. But there was nothing it could do. All it could do was press itself tightly against me and keep licking me. I felt like I was about to cry. I weakly raised my hand to comfort it. I'm okay. But the next second,